You know what's funny? I actually, funny thing I learned about blind people apparently, they don't, they're not like completely dark in complete darkness. They actually, majority of the time, don't just see darkness.
How do you know this?
Because, like, I don't know, I saw a video on it.
From the point of view of a blind person.
I mean, I mean, blind people have described, there's different kinds of blindness.
What?
And while there is a blindness that will just completely block out your vision, most different kinds of blindness will just like obstruct certain parts of your vision. Like they'll give you extreme tunnel vision,
Mm-hmm.
or they'll like put something inside where you like they'll put something in your way from seeing. So yeah, it's not like like I guess you can say it's not really being blind, but like it kind of is. It's classified as being blind.
I see. You're being blinded by science.
Ah, my science has blinded me.
I do. I've seen those videos. They're one of those things that gives me hope in humanity. It's like seeing those videos of like the color. These glasses let my colorblind blank see, and they're just right down sobbing at finally being able to see. It's like, dang, it's stuff like that that gives me a little bit more hope in humanity.
Yeah. And there's always something good on the internet, and I love the internet. I love people,
Yep.
but sometimes you just gotta tell people to screw off.
Yeah. Right. Like us, in fact.
Like
I
every so
subscribe.
for every good person, actually for every good person there's a bad person. For every bad person there's a good person.
Yeah. But the problem is, on the internet. It's easier to find the bad person than the good person.
Yep. Actually technically speaking, it's harder to find the bad person because they will disguise themselves as good people.
Yeah. At least though, I
And
don't know.
it's more like you got to pick the person you got to find the person that's being bad to one person as opposed to just everyone, because there's like there's like you got to know there's like, sorry, I'm just trying to think of what I'm trying to say here.
It's fine.
Like one of my grandmothers, she's got like this really weird thing where she tries to make the rest of the family hate one another.
Oh, lovely person.
Yeah, and like for example, what she did was she gave one of my brothers a much nicer birthday present than the other one,
Ooh,
even though it was his golden birthday.
we all know where this is going.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, like you're not playing favorites. I know you. You're trying to get the two of them to fight one another so that they completely ignore you and all the terrible, shitty things you do.
It worked.
No, it didn't work.
Oh, good.
And you want to know why?
Why?
Because my mom found out about this by having me go through her mail while they were all on vacation,
Oh.
and basically, yeah, she's like, okay, now hide the presents and don't let them see the labels.
Ooh, that's suspicious.
What do you mean?
Hide the presents and don't let them see the labels. That's suspicious.
Well, I don't think she's planning on letting here's the thing. I don't think she's actually planning on letting them like keep the presents essentially, because again, it's an attempt to sow discord.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you do? Like, that's a good question. As a parent, what would you do if, like, you knew that someone was trying to play favorites with your children? Would you deny that person the ability to see your kids and give them gifts?
If they're trying to play, if I know they're trying to make it so the two fight against each other, yes.
Yeah. Like, it's not like I know I have a feeling that someone in the comments section at some point is going to say, well, no, that's bad parenting because you're not letting your kid have the gifts that he got. Well, okay, what's the alternative here? What, get the kid the exact same present? Aren't they going to be a little suspicious of that?
Yeah, right. Kids aren't stupid.
Yeah, and also you'd also be giving credit to the person that's trying to sow discord by doing that.
Exactly. Sadly.
So honestly, I think the best. Oh, that was stupid of me. Honestly, I think the best solution is to, just ignore the gifts, let things happen their own way, and
May God sort the rest out later.
yep. Oh yeah, speaking of God, yeah, there's something that annoys me about a lot of like modern and popular Christian beliefs. They never touch on the cool stuff about the Bible.
Really? Why don't you give some
Yeah,
examples?
well, I mean, like I think I've told you about this before. Like David, most people probably know about David and Goliath, right?
Yes.
But as I told you, did you know the story doesn't stop there. It keeps going.
It has several sequels.
Well, I guess yeah, several sequels. Yeah, yeah. David not only becomes uh, gets in like a mental war with the king, who's constantly trying to assassinate him, but he then eventually becomes the king.
How about that?
Yeah, and then he gets corrupted by power.
This sounds like the series when it became just like a shonen anime or something after that. It's like, and then I'm going to fight against the king, and then I will become the king and become corrupted by power.
Yep. And then I will accidentally get my own son killed.
Oops. I hate when I do that.
Yeah, he had see that's I think that's the thing. The older Bible stories, they did have a lot of terrible people doing terrible things, and then it showed the consequences of doing such. Like David, he was like he was an extreme adulterer. Let's just be real. He was a complete adulterer, and as a result, all of his kids were really messed up in the head.
Yeah.
And that's the story. That's just the story. No, it's not like do that. It's not telling you to be like David. It's telling you what he did and how stupid that was and what happened afterwards because of that. Like he wasn't like I'm being real. After he became king, David was not a good guy.
No.
He actually killed one of his own comrades so he could steal his wife.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. If that is messed up, I don't know what is.
All you had to do was slay the giant and go home.
All you had to do is what?
All you had to do was slay the giant and go home.
Oh yeah. All you had to do. Well, technically speaking, he also had to survive King Saul.
Well, yes, but you could have got home.
Yeah, it's true. His best friend was King Saul's son, and he helped him escape.
Oops.
Most of the time.
So let the son become king, you don't become king, and you can go the heck home.
Yep. Well, I mean, to be fair, it was what was it? I think they're like their prophet prophesied that David would become king. Hey, honestly, I'm pretty sure that's like where they got the idea of King Arthur from. I'm not like entirely sure, but it sounds a lot like King Arthur. Now, the more I talk about it.
Sounds similar, yeah, and the Macbeth witches and whatnot.
Now, granted, there was no sword in the stone in this instance, so I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they took inspiration from it.
Possibly. I mean, everything's derivative.
Yeah, yeah, technically speaking, there are a lot of repeats in history.
There are no new ideas under the sun.
And that I'm pretty sure that quote's from the Bible. Like 99% sure that's from the Bible.
And I'm pretty sure that saying that was a quote from the Bible is a quote from the Bible.
Technically, yes, because Jesus actually quoted the Old Testament a lot. During his 40-day mental fight against Satan in the desert.
Oh yeah,
which is something else most people don't talk about.
So do they go chapter by chapter, day by day, or they just jump cut like through days?
They did kind of a jump cut. They only showed 3 examples of what happened there, which I'm kind of upset about, but not really.
I would have liked more days, but I wouldn't have wanted the whole 40 days.
Yeah. Essentially, it was just the whole compilation was essentially Satan constantly trying to tempt Jesus into sinning. Yeah, and every single time he retort with something, it was kind of like one of those dissing things that like gangs getting together. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Like when all those guys they get together and they go, "Whoa!" It was essentially that. Nice. But it was an actual fight between essentially the two of the biggest entities in the world.
Well, yeah, it's Jesus and the devil.
Yep.
The only thing you go above that is God himself and the devil.
I mean, technically speaking, Jesus is God, but like, it's complicated. Like the whole thing about Jesus being God is a little bit complicated. I technically choose to look at it as like some sort of Lovecraftian sort of thing, where it's like it's not really easy to understand in basic human understanding.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just my speculation, but at least to me, it's the one that makes the most sense. Because like what's the alternative? Like he's two things at once, but also not. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. But I mean, a lot of things in the book doesn't make a lot of sense if you think about it.
True. I mean, then again, does anything really make sense here? I mean, why does hydrogen and oxygen both go upwards in terms of gravity, but when they're put together, they go down?
Yes.
Or, I mean, like I know the reason why, but like, you know, it's like it takes more explaining. It's, you know, sometimes it just and that is one thing I like about I don't like about people disregarding religion, because like, well, what if religion isn't just stupid and it's just that we haven't reached that level of intelligence yet? You know, like do you think our ancestors knew exactly how the flu worked?
Nope. I think if we told them there was little germ things that get inside your body, they would have been like, and then we burn the witch, right?
Right. They'd be like that. So like, honestly, whenever people say religion is stupid and we don't need it, we've outgrown it, like I'm just thinking, well, maybe you haven't, and it's just that you don't understand it yet.
Yeah, I've come from atheist to agnostic to, so from like I harshly don't believe in it to, well, maybe that has a few points. Maybe there's something to this.
I like to think that I'm slightly responsible for that.
You are. I can confirm that.
Okay, cool. It's nice to get that confirmation.
Yes, and give yourself a nice little ego boost.
Wait, what?
And get a little ego boost.
Yeah, it feels nice. I mean, who doesn't like stroking their ego? Am I right?
Oh, I like stroking something, all right. I mean.
Anyway. Hey, okay, well, we just got demonetized.
Hey, oh, that's as long as we didn't put a curse in the beginning, so this is already marked for kids, so it's fine.
Yeah, true.
But anyway,
and we lasted 15 seconds, so we're not going to be demonetized. We're fine.
I mean, it was that in a Michael Knowles thing where just like you think that we're above religion, this thing that has existed for like over 10,000 years and survived all these other extreme events. It's like you think out of all of that you know better than that. It's like, okay, maybe you have a point there.
Yeah, and you know, there's one person brought up something interesting to me. What if like a lot of back in the old days, you know, people used to use leeches for blood.
Yeah.
Like to put leeches on their blood because they thought that cured illness. What if there was like an actual point they had, and what if a lot of their illnesses were related to blood clotting?
Huh.
So they did that as a solution.
I mean, possibly. I mean, the funny thing is that we do actually use leeches still today. It's that it's not the answer to everything. It's just the answer to a couple of scenarios. So it's like,
right.
So as backwards as it is, they were onto something.
They were onto something, but we just disregard it because we want to think we're smarter.
I mean, it is. I mean, to be fair, it is kind of funny just to be like, "Hey, what's that? You got your arm ripped off? Just put a leech on it. It'll be fine."
I mean, my grandfather told me when he was in the army, the solution to every single illness was taking 2 aspirin and coming back tomorrow.
And half the time it probably worked because back then aspirin actually did something.
Yep.